And welcome to the Spur and Call podcast. I'm your host, Julian Mazar. Sitting across from me, Jimmy Walsh. Breaking down our Week 3 game. Right now we're going to do the Bears comeback victory over the Falcons, 30-26.
They're down, baby.
You know,
What you know about it?
I was thinking about getting I was thinking about throwing a different aspect into this and getting a Falcons fan on this thing.
Do you know any? Are there any left?
That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah.
There is none left, though, so it wasn't possible.
Yeah.
The Falcons, man, what the heck?
Dude, I know
we were talking about the Bears, but
right, but
my gosh, I mean, the Cowboys literally just did this to them.
we just talked about it a week ago. We're
Yeah.
about to talk about the same thing. It's the same thing.
Like literally, what was the worst case scenario, like score time situation?
26-10 with 6.5 minutes still go.
Yeah. And like Cowboys pretty much had the same thing. I think it was like we were down 15 though, so y'all had to get.
You were down more, but with a little more time, but like barely.
Yeah.
You had to get an onside.
So yeah, the final score though, 30-26 against the
man.
Atlanta Falcons. The Chicago Bears move on to 3-0. The Atlanta Falcons go on to 0-3. I really
what a crazy game.
I was thinking the
Crazy
Falcons
game.
were gonna pull out this win the closer I got to it because I mean, dude, you talk about a desperate team. Like I guarantee you they're gonna probably win their next game. But
We have to look who they're playing though first.
yeah, of course, and they might not. Like I just think I don't know, just crazy game. I apologize if you're a Falcons fan. First off, I don't like their new uniforms. I gotta say it.
I kind of like them though.
I don't like it
I was feeling them.
because it's like back to back black uniforms.
Yes,
like,
sir.
I don't know.
I fuck with them,
Um,
but
Yeah, so we're gonna do the same format we did for the Cowboys and Seahawks game, where we just kind of talk about the game in general. Again, this is another game. There's a lot to talk about,
man.
so it's kind of good that we do this format.
Something kind of happened during this game.
I believe so.
A little something.
So the game, would you say it was pretty back and forth at the beginning, like before something happened?
A little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, it
Falcons
wasn't-
started hot.
It wasn't like the Cowboys and Falcons where we were down 24-3 in the first quarter, or you guys were down 24-3 in the first quarter.
That's crazy. You guys won.
Yeah, so like y'all scored 3
We
in the
looked
first.
good in the beginning.
Yeah, so it was 10-16 at the end of half. So
Yeah.
like it wasn't.
We were looking all right.
Yeah, like you guys were definitely in the game. Mitch, I don't know. So obviously, I mean, I think we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
At this point, though, at halftime, he was looking fine.
Yeah.
He threw a tud.
Yeah.
He ran for 45 yards
Yeah.
with one run.
Yeah.
He was looking okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
It's freaking huge. It's
he
literally right
ma-
here and just taking up all the
Yeah,
space in here.
It is. It's kind of overwhelming. He made a horrible read to Jimmy Graham on just like a drag route that, do you remember who it was? Just undercut it like very easily. Like it was not like he baited him pretty much.
Was it Denard?
Yes. Darquez Dennard, whatever.
Denard.
Picked him off, and if Mitch didn't have a little bit of wheels on him, he would have scored a tud. And pretty much that right there told Matt Nagy, "Yeah, out for the game," and we put in the boy Foles.
I mean, and did it?
And that's what we did.
Okay, so
We put in Foles right after that.
Yeah.
The next drive, Foles took it on like the 8-yard line and like did nothing. But he took it that next drive right after that pick.
Mitchell Trubisky's stat line before he got obviously. So if you didn't miss the point, Mitchell Trubisky got benched. Nick Foles became the starter. Mitchell Trubisky's stat line was 13 for 22, 128, a touchdown and an interception. He had the one big carry for 45 yards.
But he also got sacked twice.
Yeah, he was looking a little bit frantic in the pocket, but I don't know if that's necessarily him just being nervous or him being, hey, I do have the wheels to extend the play. So like,
I just think the offensive line didn't play as good for him.
yeah,
No, I'm not saying that's why he put
Yeah.
in, but I mean, he was looking okay.
yeah,
Obviously,
exactly.
he didn't
So obviously, in retrospect, 2020, Nick Foles, I mean, it was the right decision putting him in. How did you?
I was surprised, man.
I was very surprised. I didn't think.
I thought it would take longer than
2.5
halfway through the
games?
third. Yeah, exactly.
2.5 games for.
I thought it would take a minimum 4.
And the crazier thing was how definitive it was that Mitchell Trubisky was a starter at the beginning of the season.
That made sense because I broke it down a little bit, and you agreed that it makes sense why he was. but they showed that like you don't got to do much to lose that. But,
especially Matt Nagy.
But think about this though. Think about this. We were down so much in the game. We had nothing else to lose. So we might as well throw in the freaking backup because he turned the ball over when we were down 16 points. He turned it over in the second half. So it's like throw in the backup. Might as well. Mitch is already on a tightrope, and then Foles goes out and balls out. You know what I mean? So it's like.
So yeah, ultimately it ended up being the right decision. He was 16 for 29 for 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, a pick,
two drop touchdowns. As well.
Yeah, exactly. He had one that was to Anthony Miller.
It literally should have been 4.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Ultimately, it ended up being the right decision, of course, because he ended up leading you guys back. You guys scored 20 points.
Let me just talk about it for a second.
Quarter.
He just compared, because I've watched Mitchell Trubisky under center for the past 3 years. And it's kind of been the same thing every time, especially when he doesn't have a good game. But he's just been kind of getting better. Last year, a year was weird.
I thought he has really been settling in this year.
That's the thing. But if you look at it, we won barely twice. So it's like we should have lost both those games against crud teams. But we didn't, and Mitch kind of showed that he was not horrible.
You guys.
He wasn't the Mitch that everyone thought. But the thing about it is, Nick Foles comes in, and after he takes off that tinted visor, man, after he took off that visor, he looked like he just didn't care if he got hit. He was reading. He knows he can't run, which is also a thing about having a pocket passer. When you have a bad offensive line, you know you can't run. You're going to make the reads. You're going to make the plays that you have to do or throw it out. Mitch doesn't throw it out very much. And it's like Nick Foles just looked confident. He looked like he was making the right reads. We have good receivers. He was getting it to him whether they caught it or not. Of course, he had a couple plays. He had one where there was like 3 Falcons defenders. He threw it over like on the run, and Jimmy Graham happened to get it. That could have been a pick. He threw another one where the pick was pretty much just dropped. He didn't look amazing like everyone's giving him credit for. People are just comparing it to Mitch, and he had such a little play time, and he went out there and he really just didn't have any growing pains. He just kind of did the thing.
Yeah.
You
so
know?
For a couple points there.
Yeah.
Nick Foles, he definitely has he has better body composure in the pocket. He stands way taller than.
He's so much more confident throwing the ball. Period.
I think so. I'm pretty sure you're right. So I kind of want to directly compare the two though. He does stand tall in the pocket because I think he knows that he is a pocket passer.
Well, he's 6'6".
Yeah.
We're talking about tall.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, like literally, whenever you're facing pressure, it's like people call it owning the pocket. Pretty much, it's like
being a bigger
quarterback
does help though.
No, for sure, and that's what I'm saying. He looks more.
He's a pocket quarterback. Mitch Trubisky's not.
So that has its pros and its cons for sure. Yeah. Like, he obviously isn't going to try to do anything too crazy. But so, instance, the pass to Jimmy Graham, he was limited on that play because of his athleticism. That he had to roll out the pocket, and he had to get rid of it pretty fast because of the pressure closing in on him. So I want your Graham view of this for the rest of the season. Nick Foles, today's Monday. He has been named the starter officially, which doy.
I think it's kind of a shock that we just came out and named him. One thing to just start him, but we were like we just told the media he's like that's a bit. I was a little bit shocked on Monday.
Yeah, I bet that's
the next day.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is I had a feeling. I talked to my mom about it a little bit. My mom kind of put in a fresh little, not football Mitch watching perspective, and why not start him again? Like it'd be one thing if we came in and we were losing bad and we put in our backup and he was like, and we lost the game. Yeah. Give Mitch he's the man.
Especially,
but Foles came in. He's getting paid $7 million. He came in, Mitch, we didn't give him his extension for the 5th year. This is his last year. He's probably not going to get paid a big contract if we do or not. I mean, Foles came in and he looked good. Might as well start him for the rest of this season and see what we can get out of him. We've had the same quarterback under the same flipping thing before Nagy got here. Now Nagy's here. You know what I mean? And we might as well play Foles as long as we can until he just shows that what he did on Jacksonville last year. You know, but he looks like he's the guy that you can count on.
Yeah, especially now it makes sense. I guess I'm more shocked that Trubisky got pulled in general.
That was a shocking thing. He even said came out of nowhere.
Especially considering came
after a pick, but
yeah, I mean the pick was bad, but it's like I I honestly kind of had a good feeling about y'all in that game. Like I thought Trubisky could have maybe pulled off this comeback.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, were you? You weren't watching it, Julian, live. I'm telling you, watching that game.
Well, I was tuning in and out. Like
but
my stream was pretty bad. But
if you watch that game, the whole game as a Bears fan, then he throws the pick. Like, I did not have a doubt in my mind we were losing that game. I literally convinced myself that I'm going to at least play this out. Okay,
yeah.
like we
are playing the Atlanta Falcons.
I literally was like 2-1's not bad. Me and my grain was like 2-1 ain't bad. 2-1's literally not bad for the Bears.
Yeah.
That's literally, and we were cool because like you weren't going to be mad at the Seahawks loss. You weren't going to get all upset like you were at the Rams.
Seahawks won. Yeah.
Like you lost to the Seahawks.
No, say if the Seahawks won.
I'm just saying you didn't get mad at the Seahawks loss. Like you lost to the Seahawks is what I meant. Like you didn't get all mad at it. Like you accepted it is what it is.
I'd be happy if the Seahawks lost.
That's how I was with our loss against the Falcons.
Yeah.
I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
They're looking good, but
yeah. I knew in the fourth quarter they are.
Mitch wasn't about to make 2 like comeback third quarter. Like the chances of that is crazy.
It's crazy though because like, I mean, it's crazy how much different a week of football will change your perspective of something. I mean, we were talking about Mitch last year, and I don't think we said it on the pod, but we're like, if this dude obviously gonna be a free agent, if he had like a good season like it seemed like he was having, we were talking about like how much maybe this man's gonna get paid, and we're like, it could be a good amount. But the fact that this fool isn't even, I mean, he got benched already. Like it just it changed like that. It's crazy. Like I imagine as a Bears fan, it's kind of hard to process. Even though Nick Foles obviously came back and got the win for y'all, I bet. Like, how do you feel about Nick Foles ultimately being the starter for?
I feel good, dude. I feel like he's been so chill this whole process.
Do you think it was unfair to Trubisky at all?
No, dude. He's had how much opportunities this dude. Like, look what Mahomes has done.
Yeah.
Watson's having his troubles this year, but he got paid a fatty contract. Like, Trubisky's had. Hold on, listen. Hear me out before you just talk.
The first 2 games, though, is the
thing. Hear
me
out before you just talk, buddy. You asked me a question. Let me answer it.
Okay.
Mr. Trubisky, we traded up and we took him 2nd overall. The 2 quarterbacks that we passed on have shown to be close to elite, if not Watson being elite. Baller quarterbacks. Mitchell Trubisky's played 20 plus by far regular season games as a starter under the same coach. There's nothing unfair whenever you come in and you do win 2 games, but you win them barely. You throw 2 interceptions that could have lost us the game against the Giants easily. With it came down to the last play with 3 seconds left. Mitchell Trubisky is looking okay. He's looking better. That's it. But that's it. We're just giving the benefit of the doubt. This dude is not looking like he's looking good. Listen to the past podcast. I was praising him, but that's because I compared it to what he's been doing. If I compared it to a Mahomes game, never good. Never that good. He just looked better. I think going forward, we give Foles the start for sure until he just legit has consecutive games where he does bad. Then our season's over.
Do you see that happening?
Who knows? Why not? I'm not going to just be like Foles. But he threw
an
interception. It could have thrown 2 in 1 quarter.
How long do you think Nick Foles' leash is?
The whole time. I mean, until he has like I was saying.
Because for instance, like Trubisky had 3 touchdowns in the first game. He had a 104 quarterback rating. I'm saying, and obviously Foles had 3 touchdowns this game.
Did you watch the game against the Lions?
Yeah.
He did it all in the last quarter, bro.
No, I understand.
He did 3 quarters.
Like you said, he was 2 and was a starter.
But I made the points already. You're reiterating what I said. Yes, he is 2-0, but etc. Like I said, Foles, we will start him until he has consecutive.
I understand that. I'm asking you how you feel. More so because I know how the Bears are thinking about it.
I just told you how I felt about it, and then
ultimately I feel
great. I feel great about it. He looked good. We do not have a quarterback. Mitch He literally lost us that game. Like he literally threw an interception when we were down 16 against a team that scored 26 in the first maybe the first 35 minutes of the game. So let me wrap it up before we get. We need to get into awards here.
I want to give because I haven't given my opinion about Nick Foles yet.
Okay, but I'm saying
I think ultimately Nick Foles will crash and burn, just because that has been him in his career, except for the one.
Not whenever he's not named a starter. He won a Super Bowl MVP last time that he came in as a backup.
Yeah, and now he's a starter.
No, he was a starter then, but he was not named the starter week 1.
No, but he wasn't the starter whenever he won the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
He was the backup.
Was he not the backup this year?
No, but now he's a starter. He was
the starter after the backup.
I'm saying. But it wasn't the same situation with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was just hurt. I'm
not saying it is, but it's technically the same thing. He got called upon and he did his thing.
For
He
sure.
did that this game. Yeah,
But
we can
ultimately-
talk about. We can talk. I mean, it's the first game, man. He played a quarter and a half.
No, for
All
sure.
I'm saying is that once he starts having bad games in a row,
Mm-hmm.
we're effed in the balls, and we will take a first-round quarterback next year, whether we have to trade up for him or not.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Foles has to play the next 13 games solid.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess to wrap it up, I hate. I mean,
He had a good game. We're talking about this game.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, but it's such a grand topic to talk about because it is.
You can make it that if you want, but we only played a quarter and a half, and he looked good. We're going on
No,
against the Colts.
No, I'm talking about
against one of the top
talking
defenses
about-
in the league. We'll see.
No, I know for sure. I'm just saying. Ultimately, I think
He'll crash and burn. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No. I'm not even saying that. I want to get into Trubisky. I was gonna say ultimately, I think I don't know. I just think Trubisky, like even if y'all went 2-1, y'all lost that game. I just think Trubisky can offer more to y'all's offense in general throughout the whole season.
It didn't look like it. For one, and for two, we're not paying Foles cheap money.
No, I understand. No, I
Like
understand.
Trubisky just had his chance, man. It's
understand.
like he has never
But, I mean,
he's so inconsistent
yeah,
as a quarterback.
yeah,
He's not
Yeah.
the guy.
yeah. But I mean, Nick. Obviously,
like him.
We got to see what Nick Foles is in 2020.
He might not be the guy, but at least
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
better than Mitch
Yeah.
did that game.
Yeah,
Mitch did not do anything against the Falcons. Foles came in one quarter, almost threw 4 touchdowns. So that's
for
what
sure.
that's what
For
we're,
sure.
we're gauging, right?
For sure.
We're not gauging
for sure.
past.
But also, we can't say that Trubisky hasn't had touchdowns that were dropped.
No, and he's won both the games where he has.
Mhm.
Barely.
Yeah, I just think it was a little sporadic pull from me. Like, I mean, obviously,
It turned out though. That's
of
all
course,
that matters.
of course. I just,
They were right.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We wouldn't have pulled him. We would have
No.
been wrong.
No.
We would have lost the game. If we started him, they won.
No, and of course, in the terms of that game, it was the right decision.
This is a breakdown of that game.
But of course, but I mean, if you switch quarterbacks, I want to get a little bit more.
That's what we've been doing for the past 10
Yeah.
minutes.
10 years?
10 minutes.
Oh,
You know, we've been talking about it.
yeah.
You
I don't
know?
know. We'll see.
I'm not like
We'll see.
gung
Ultimately,
ho.
yeah. Well, ultimately, we will see if it was the right decision for the whole season. We won't talk about that right now, though. I just wanted to.
We
bring
got
it
to
up.
see a couple
Yeah.
more
So
games under man's belt.
yeah. So let's get into the categories.
We got to jump into the offensive player of the game, buddy.
And I already have. For me,
Let's hear it.
it's the guy I just kind of trashed on. It's Nick Foles.
Okay.
And Allen Robinson, he's a close second for me just because he had a bounce back game compared to what he was last week for sure. And he could have really even had a better game than he did because I wasn't there like he might have had
He looked okay.
obviously the touchdown where he got
Huge.
no not
Great
that
play.
not that touchdown.
Oh,
The touchdown that
we
could have
got
been
mossed on. Again.
yeah,
Same
second
play
time
as
in a
last-
row
yeah.
where it's like a fade.
To like a good corner, but like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. And just
You're 6'3", 220.
dude, just get physical with it, man.
Like,
just pull
yeah,
that thing out the air.
Hey,
but
at least make the incompletion.
yeah. Hey, but he redeemed himself on one play where the other pick that happened last week, it was
Yeah.
like the same exact play, and he redeemed himself on that. But then where it's like just a deep in, and he was physical with it, and he like go for it. But
Yeah.
but
But talk about Foles.
yeah, for Foles,
What
I
you
mean,
like about Foles? Give him the OP of the
he-
game.
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns. He ultimately won.
Talk about them touchdowns. Good, solid touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, one of them
Good throws every time.
One of them I want to say for a different category, but yeah, I mean, he scored 3 touchdowns. Like he was the engine of y'all's comeback.
He killed it.
I mean, some guys made some good plays. Like Allen Robinson helped him out down
I
the
mean,
stretch.
imagine-
Anthony Miller helped him down the stretch, sort of, and also didn't.
Imagine coming into the game down 16, being like, okay, it's my first
for
snap,
sure,
the first
for
snap
sure.
of the season.
For sure.
Down 16, let's go.
Yeah,
Doing it.
and then you say screw it at that point.
That's the yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
you're with an offense who's
Yeah.
only put up 10 points and then you score
Dude,
3.
Nick Foles is your starter.
I know it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy, and I love that he's your offensive player of the game, but I'm gonna have to give it to A-Rod
yeah.
because he did.
Jimmy
He
Graham had
did.
2 touchdowns this game.
That's what I was gonna say.
Dude, does
Jimmy,
he have 5 this year?
yeah, he's doing well. Jimmy Graham looks like a red zone stud.
Yeah.
He looks like we've thrown 2 fades to him on corners, and he
Dude,
literally
I'm-
just snags it.
This man must be going to men's T clinic every week because his testosterone level is amazing for a 33-year-old.
Compared to like how he's been too, he's
Yeah.
he's veiny. And
Yeah.
he looks good, dude.
Yeah.
He's just not as fast, but like he's physical. He runs around.
He just
he has
still-
hands still.
He's just still 6'7" is
He's
what
a
he
tight
is.
end.
Yeah.
He's a tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like he looks good, man, and that's my honorable mention because he did have 2 tuds, huge tuds. But A-Rob, like he did let up an interception, but that play we were just talking about was so big. Also,
If he does it again,
he had 9 other receptions opposed to that. He had 13 targets and caught 10 of them. Not a bad ratio. He had that touchdown on that 37-yard like stop route with like a broken tackle. He looked like he was good. He looked like he was good. He had maybe a couple I feel like he could have caught every ball thrown to him. Yeah. He should have. He should have 13 catches.
He did good for my fantasy team, so.
Oh, he did great for fantasy. Yeah. I'm sure Jimmy Graham did better, but with the 2 touchdowns, that's got to be crazy.
Depends which league you're in, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, true. But Allen Robinson has got to be my offensive player of the week because he just came through when we needed him. He caught the ball most of the times when we threw to him.
Yeah.
He didn't do amazing, but 10 receptions is going to be prevalent.
Yeah. So switch it over to defensive player of the game.
Yep.
You could say the guy that made the clutch pick at the end for Gibson, but the dude that's the only play I noticed. For me,
6 tackles though.
Yeah, was
for Gibson too.
Okay.
6 tackles and a pick.
Okay. For me though, it's gonna be 96. Akeem Hicks. He had a sack and a half.
He looked dominant.
Yeah, he's huge. I saw him throw Keith Smith on the ground, who's their fullback, and he's like 250, and he just ragdolled him pretty much.
He's leading all interior D linemen in sacks through 3 games.
Khalil Mack, he's definitely coming on. He's still not
Khalil Mack played great last game.
Yeah, he's definitely
Dude, he puts so much pressure.
No, for sure.
So much disruption.
Sure. Yeah.
So much attention. So much.
And
he does a lot.
I don't think he's gonna put up crazy stats this year.
But he never has in his entire career.
Which is crazy. Which is
he's a game record.
Yeah.
He's not a stat. He's not a number guy.
Yeah.
Like Chandler Jones does not get the credit. He does, and he puts up twice as much sacks because Khalil Mack is so disruptive.
Yeah. He's not. Yeah. Exactly. I wouldn't say Chandler Jones is as disruptive.
Chandler Jones will average a sack a game, but that's one play.
Yeah, exactly.
Khalil Mack, every play is literally just beasting.
Yeah, it's good to see. I think Khalil Mack is probably just getting his game into game shape more so than anything.
Looks like a leader out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have to agree, though. Akeem Hicks, for sure, defensive player of the game. Jalen Johnson, I think, is now moved up from number 4 in PFF to the number 2 corner in the league through 3 games in passer rating allowed.
Thank you, Kyle Fuller.
Dude, he's looking good, dude. I mean, you think you target a rookie, so it doesn't even matter if you have a good guy on the other side. You target the rookie, he's not let up nothing.
Yeah.
But Akeem Hicks, man, he got a clutch sack, and then also another half sack, and he was just disrupting the interior like nobody business.
Yeah, for sure.
He looked good. Gibson, great pick, and I mean, if they scored that drive, it's over. They only had 45 yards to go.
This is my first week where Eddie Jackson is the defensive player of the game for me.
Yeah, I think it's sad, but it's probably the most prevalent play of that game was the Ridley reception.
Yeah.
In the first drive.
I mean, ultimately,
he played well.
Eddie Jackson,
he played well.
He's obviously a very athletic safety, but if you expect him to cover Calvin Ridley deep, it's probably not going to turn out great.
I just think that he misread it. I think if he was playing it fully, I mean, it's
and we got to start getting coaches copies where we can see exactly what the hell happened on the play because
that'd be nice.
That's what needs to happen with the Cowboys because I got to see what is happening. So let's go and take a break because we're at 23 minutes. But these games have been so crazy that we got to spend a lot of time dedicating.
We could talk 2 hours about them each.
Yeah, we could talk focus. 5 hours about Nick Foles versus Mitchell Trubisky and what that means for the Bears.
Sure we will.
Yeah, let's go and take a break. So we'll be right back. And we're back with the Spur and Call podcast, breaking down the second half of categories we have. For Chicago Bears win over the Falcons 30-26.
3-0.
So, Jimmy.
Yep.
I want to give you a little advice.
Okay.
And I learned this the hard way last year.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna complete everything.
I think he's getting pessimistic.
I have a problem.
Hmm.
I like to draw too many parallels. I've realized that, but I'm gonna do it here. The Dallas Cowboys last year, they started out 3-0.
Never compare the Cowboys to the Bears. For one,
You're right, because one has won 5 Super Bowls and one has won like 2.
one has the best team of all time. The other one has gone 8-8 for about a decade straight.
Okay, and you can't tell me the '85 Bears are the best team ever. Whenever
Why?
I think they're the best defensive ever.
Best team.
Who was their quarterback?
Jim McMahon. He didn't. You don't have to be an amazing quarterback. He literally won.
No, I'm saying 15-1,
and we should have won that game.
How many?
We should have went.
Yeah.
We should have went.
How many Hall of Fame quarterbacks do you have?
None. We don't focus on that. We have the best running back of all time. Easy. Sweetness, baby.
Maybe.
You talking about Emmett Smith? Ain't nothing to compare to no Walter
Barry
Payton,
Sanders.
baby. Huh?
Barry Sanders.
I mean, he just didn't play enough to be better than Sweetness, baby.
Yeah. But and like again, I think, look, the Chicago Bears.
He just wants to degrade the fact that we 3-0, baby. 1-6 teams, 1-3 in the NFC.
No, I'm just laying out the format.
Yeah, of course it could go bad, but it ain't gonna go bad. We got Nick Foles at quarterback, baby, and we running it.
Okay.
We running it now. Cohen's out, Monty's taking loads. We getting dubs, bro.
Pause.
He taking loads, bro.
So,
load after load.
I ultimately do think, and I'm nothing to discredit the Chicago Bears on their start. I'm just saying.
What? Then
No. The real stretch starts now because it did not happen for the Cowboys. I thought, dude, we're 3-0.
Yeah, we play the Colts next week.
Oh, for sure. And y'all play the Bucks the week after, and then y'all probably have an easy dub the week
Panthers.
after. Yeah.
Dub.
Yeah. We'll see.
W.
We'll see. But yes, y'all played ultimately, I think, 2 teams that will be picking or 3 teams that will be picking the top 5.
Oh yeah.
You played the Giants.
Oh,
you played the Lions.
Oh yeah.
And you played the
Lions
Falcons.
could be like better than top 5, but yeah.
We'll see.
With Galladay back, they beat who they just beat.
Yeah, the Cardinals. But they've looked terrible otherwise.
Yeah. They look good against us besides the last quarter.
The Falcons look terrible too. For sure, 3 teams will probably be picking in the top 10 more so than the top 5.
No, 100% top 10.
And the schedule, I'm saying ultimately is going to get harder from this point. And like,
yep. What are you trying to say?
No. I'm saying, I'm just saying y'all have to realize that because,
dude, as a Bears fan, he's trying to make me realize things as a Bears fan. Listen, man, when you start out 3-0 as a Bears fan, dude, it doesn't. That's all. That's all that matters.
Stay focused, brother.
I'm focused, man.
And that's what the Chicago Bears got to do going into Week 4 and throughout the rest of the season. Because if they think those 3 were the most important wins, they're wrong.
It just helps us like going 1-2 or
sure.
3-0
for sure.
Like we was rolling into the next game.
For sure.
And they're the better teams, but
I'm saying
rolling into
the real stretch of football starts right now. Is what I'm trying to say.
That's why we got Foles, baby.
Yeah. So pivotal play in the game. All right.
What do you got?
For me, it's pretty clear cut.
Okay.
It's the Anthony Miller touchdown, not the Anthony Miller drop touchdown. The
Course
Anthony
not
Miller
that.
touchdown.
That was a
Pressure in Nick Foles' face. It was
beautiful throw.
I mean, I think was it the last touchdown scored in the game?
Yeah. They had one more drive.
Yeah. It was a beautiful throw. And like really the pressure was crazy in his face. Both of your dudes were open.
Yeah.
You had to see Anthony Miller.
Fine. Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like a back-to-back thing where the A-Rob pick and then the Anthony Miller drop.
Chill.
It was like, what is happening? I mean, it's just facts at that point.
When we needed it too.
But he made up for it, obviously.
He did.
It was just a great play all around. Like from Nick Foles,
won us the game.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. So yeah, for me, that's a pivotal point in the game. I guess you can ultimately say whenever Nick Foles got put in.
I guess that was definitely a pivotal point. I'm gonna have to go with something that was a few plays before that touchdown pass.
Yep.
We were on a 4th and 6 on that same drive. It was make it or break it.
Mm-hmm.
4th down, going for it. Nick Foles at quarterback, and we get like a 20-yard reception.
It was 29 on 4th and 7. Yeah.
Yeah. To Ted Ginn for 29 yards.
No hot routes, baby.
Dude, that play, if we didn't get it, it's over.
Was it like a flag route from the slot?
I don't know. It might have been on the left and just ran just a straight Tyreek Hill across the middle with speed type thing and beat him. And dude, that play was like Such a smart throw. Good throw by Nick Foles to Ted Ginn for like his only catch of the year. I think that play was more needed. Obviously, it was just as needed as a touchdown, but it set up that touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
We needed that fourth down conversion more than we needed a touchdown on whatever down we had. We probably had more downs after that Anthony Miller touchdown. We could have driven more. We could have, 4th and 6 though, it's it.
Yeah.
And we drove it down a third of the field. So same drive, just like with the Cowboys. We had the pivotal play on that similar drive, different plays. But, that last drive for the Bears offense, or the second last drive, it was,
Yeah. When did Tariq Cohen get hurt?
On a punt return that he called fair catch, got hit with no flag.
Damn.
In, like, the third quarter. Yeah.
And
completely sad. We didn't talk about that.
ACL, right?
Yeah. The week after he got paid.
He looked all right in the game, too. He was.
Yeah. Once Nick Foles came in, we were dunking it to Cohen. I think he threw him like 2 and 5 times.
He reminds me of, because like I just saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He reminds me so much of him. And I think he's smaller than him, but
he is. But he's just.
But
like
just literally
quicker.
the playing style, it's like literally exactly the same. I was like, bro, imagine if you put Cohen in the Chiefs
Helaire
offense.
weighs a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cohen with the Chiefs would be crazy, but yeah, we gotta just kind of give a little shout out to Cohen. Hopes he recovers quick. He's out for the season.
Was that y'all's first major injury this season? I swear to God, if it was, bro, I'm gonna be so mad.
Because it was a major injury for sure.
Can we
out for the season, baby?
Yeah.
Monty about to get Tuds and
Monty season. Maybe Cordell season.
He's already got his season coming. He's looking good.
Yeah.
Move on?
Yeah, move on. So moving on to the biggest surprise of the game. For me, it's Mitchell Trubisky getting benched.
Yeah.
Just
Nick Foles coming in third quarter in the third game of the year.
And ultimately, just because of, like, I didn't think Foles would come back and win the game. So I was like, bro, just let Mitch get another week of practice, bro.
More Nick Foles coming in and being Nick Foles.
There's two different versions of Nick Foles. There's the Nick Foles that got beat out by Gardner Minshew last year.
But which Nick Foles is remembered as? The MVP of the Super Bowl and the record-holding touchdowns for one game? Or is it the 4 games last year? It's not that. Because he proved that he's not that guy this game. So, yes. Biggest surprise was Mitch Foles being benched after 1 pick. We were down a lot, though. That's why. If we were winning, he threw a pick. I guarantee you he would not have been benched. Matt Nagy pulled just a power move and was like, let's see what you got then. Because Mitch, if Foles comes in and plays, Mitch Trubisky's the guy next week. And we learning point and a major tell for Mitch Trubisky having to come back and come through. But Foles balled. So it's like, sorry, Mitch. You had your chance. You had 3 games against crud teams. So I got to agree. Maybe getting benched was definitely the biggest surprise in general.
Yeah.
But was Foles coming back and winning it more surprising? Probably.
Yeah, both. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to process so much information with Foles and Trubisky. Like, I don't know how to think about it.
You're good, man. You ain't gotta feel. We'll fill it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a couple more pots to go.
Was there any big other surprises to you? Honestly, like.
Monty, like, not really giving it to Montgomery. Monty didn't have a game. That was surprising.
Yeah, you were needing a good game from him. You started him this week, right?
Yeah, he got me 6 points, but I won because Mark Ingram didn't have the best game today. Shout out Mark Ingram.
Big trust.
Not that many surprises. Shit, big trust. Graham having another 2 touchdown games kind of surprising.
Yeah.
But there's a few like A-Rob. That game was just weird for him. You know what I mean? There was a couple surprises from him.
Yeah, but it's whenever you change your quarterback and all. That's pretty,
when you bench a guy.
Yeah. It's like I don't know. Like, would you going into the season, like, how many games of bad Mitch do you think it would have taken?
I thought it would have been 4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I think we're thinking.
I thought if he played crud through the first 4 games, it'd be like for sure now. But we're not even letting that.
He played like I know, like, obviously the first, like, he put up more stats in the first game. Like, ultimately, he's had like a game and a half of bad play.
But like Foles had to have been playing well during this training camp. Like they have had to have known that he could.
But it's just like you guys are so clear that Trubisky was a starter, and that's probably more just like contract wise, more than play.
It's everything I talked about.
Yeah.
Which I don't need to dive into how he started, but it's like It makes so much more sense now because Foles threw more passes than Mitch.
Yeah.
And
I was surprised to see that he had threw 29 passes. Yeah.
He didn't get sacked. Mitch got 2 sacks. He threw it less.
Do you think your line was
and he threw an interception.
I swear sometimes like lines whenever
the defense came back for Foles, bro.
Sometimes I swear like with lines, once they have an older quarterback in there, they get a little bit more like, hey, we got to do something here. Like we got to.
They know he ain't going to scramble. You're going to be right there where you say you're going to be.
Yeah. So moving into biggest letdown.
Ooh, I haven't thought about this too much, but obviously it's.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Who is it?
Unless if you already got one.
No, who is it?
For me, and just because me and him were watching him pretty close. Number 58, Roquan Smith, going back home to Georgia.
No.
Was getting washed about every play.
Roquan Smith, bro. We watched like a few plays of him getting washed, but he obviously like.
No, I was watching almost every play, and he. I don't know. Like I was expecting kind of a bigger game from him because like.
Yeah.
And like I probably put too much stock into it just being him from Georgia and whatnot.
I mean, don't, man. He should. You should have expectations for him.
Yeah, his family was watching. They were
even that, but yeah.
They're probably real close, like right down the road and stuff.
Yeah, he definitely got like. He did not look good against block shedding. He did not have that in his arsenal.
He is not the type where he can be patient and let the lineman come to him and shed. Like he needs to go. He needs to go.
That's why having Trevathan next to him is not the best this year.
Because he's the exact same thing.
And he's like way slower.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
We need. Yeah. I mean, you're right because LV is the guy who can extend his arms.
I never heard of that dude. Does he play football?
He used to.
Yeah.
I don't know if he will ever again, but. You know what I mean? Just there's certain linebackers. You're right. That's a great way to put it. He can't be patient with the blocker in his face, shed it. He's got to quick around him, use his speed, break it, and then diagnose.
Because most of his plays in college, it was him
diagnosing and just going for it.
And that's the one thing that's actually tricky about evaluating college linebackers. It's more wide zone runs where it's like a long stretch where linebacker can float all the way to the side and make like this flashy athletic play, but it's like hardly ever coming downhill like right at them where they have to shed, this 350-pound guard.
Sideline type of thing.
In college, yes, and like in NFL, it is a downhill game, is what it is. Sure. And like Roquan, he's had a pretty solid career. Like he's had a weird career, but I would say he hasn't been bad whenever he's played.
No, he's been good.
But yeah, I mean. I guess, I don't know. Like, the Trubisky throw was bad.
That's why I might have to say Trubisky is the biggest letdown because he got benched. I've been preaching him, man.
Yeah. No,
I was feeling good about him, and then he comes in this game. He looks okay.
And if you were put on your coaching hat.
I wouldn't have benched him, but I wouldn't. But, like, so many people were like, they should have put Foles in week 1. And it's like... Dude, I mean, just like I've talked about before, you have to give him every opportunity.
2-1 right now.
It's now or nothing, and we just said that Trubisky's not the guy. Like he's not gonna get a contract from us now. Like he's not. Like there's no. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it depends how short this leash is.
It doesn't matter because then if we have to put Trubisky back in, we already said he's not the guy.
Well, no, he won't get $100 million.
He won't get a contract from us because Foles is signed under 2 years for us. 2 years for us, and it's like we're setting it up for Mitch to be gone, Foles to be there again next year, and us get a young guy or draft or sign a guy. It's not gonna be Mitch. We said it. Like we just said it. Like he didn't play that. Like it was surprising for us because he didn't do that bad, and we were like, no, bench. Like that's not a learning curve for him. Like did you see his face on the sideline?
Yeah, I sent you the picture.
Bro, my granny was even like, he looked sad. Yeah. He looked like he was beat up.
So
I mean, even my coworker at work was like. Trubisky looked because that was like he was devastated.
Jimmy, I got
what we got?
I got 3 names for you.
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. Start looking into him.
I don't know much about him, but of course, like I feel like just Trevor Lawrence would probably be the move, right? He looks like the best.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys picking top 5 in the draft?
No, that's what I mean. Like you tell me that, then don't say his name because I know he's gonna probably be like the first pick taken.
Yeah.
I know who they are. I sent you Justin Fields' video of him with Cam Newton when he was a little high school guy.
Yeah.
Like, I know who they are.
Justin Fields isn't going to be there either.
I know who they are.
I'll start looking into...
I think that we might, if we have to get a guy, we'll do this trade up again. Do what we did for Mitch. Trade up for him. Dude. Christ. We need a guy. We have everyone else. Trade up for a quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah.
If Mitch Foles comes in and cruds out And Mitch Trubisky, we put him back. That's just going to be a disaster. If Trubisky has to come back in, we are getting rid of our quarterbacks and we are drafting a guy. I promise.
It's going to be a very interesting offseason, I think, for both teams.
But Foles is going to lead us to 11-5, and we'll be fine. Let's move on. Next category. Optimism.
We need to dedicate a whole pod to the Nick Foles situation.
We need to have a few specific pods once a week for sure. So,
MVP, I mean, I guess we were talking about him again. For me, it's definitely Ryan Nall. He was just overall the best player on the field.
You said that was such a straight
I think
face
he had a
to come
block.
off. Bro, relax, buddy. Hold up.
My acting skills are getting better.
Let's relax.
No,
right?
MVP. I mean, Nick Foles has been the guy every category, so maybe I should stop hating on him.
Who did you say was the offensive player?
Nick Foles / Allen Robinson.
Oh, you have a slash?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say MVP, man. My offensive player was A-Rob just because he was pretty consistent, but MVP obviously got to be...
do you win the game without Nick Foles, though?
No, that's the thing. MVP's got to be Nick Foles.
Yeah,
he came in, and he was the most valuable player on the team. He got his tuds.
Yeah.
He did the thing. I mean, we've talked about Foles quite a bit, but this game specifically, man, he threw some pretty accurate throws. The interception A-Rob, I mean, that was damn accurate. A jump ball for your bigger corner.
Charles Harris.
You know how tall Darkest Dennard is? Yes. 5'10".
This man looks
He's
like
5'10".
he's got the gold grill. I guarantee he's from Florida. I'm gonna look that up.
No, he is. He's 5'10", and Allen Robinson's 6'3". And it showed that because
he's from Georgia, but I mean that's Florida.
It showed that Allen Robinson was the bigger guy because he jumped over him, and Darkest Dennard fell down, and then Allen Robinson just let the ball fall into his hands like he did for the second week in a row. At least James Bradbury's not small.
Can I ask you a question? Who did Charles Harris get a sack on?
Leno.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That happened too, buddy.
Okay. The real MVP of this game, though, was definitely Julio Jones not playing.
Yes. The most valuable player was Julio Jones not playing 100%.
Yeah.
If they had Julio Jones, L. If Galladay was on the Lions, L. I mean, that's literally what it's looking like. We're literally coming.
That's why I'm saying don't put too much stock into the 3-0, brother.
Bro, I'm going to, man. I'm going to talk that 3-0 up. Dude, I don't care. I don't care, man, because I know if we played the Seahawks, the Falcons, and Rams, we'd not be 3-0.
Yeah.
So we 3-0 right now, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because it is what it is.
I know the feeling, brother. It's a good feeling.
Dude, compared to last year, dude, we had such a letdown season, man. Like, we're a good team.
Yeah.
3-0, we better be.
It's the weirdest. Are you guys the weirdest 3-0 team?
Yeah,
I mean, considering
bro. The Titans is kind of weird.
Yeah, dude, I thought they were going to lose. I thought they were going to lose. I'm surprised they even
Steelers being 3-0 kind of. Big Ben?
Yeah.
I guess being Trubisky and Foles, we have two quarterbacks who've won us games.
Yeah.
So that's actually,
I mean, especially whenever you have your backup comes in and you to be 3-0 is quite, I mean, that's.
We're definitely the weirdest. I think there's only 6, though.
6 3-0 teams?
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, I think.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Let's go.
You and the Packers. It's a race in the NFC North.
Let me just say this.
The Cowboys have a luxury in the NFC East. Thank God.
They do. But let me just get this off my chest, man. I was sitting there, man, just accepting the L. Like you guys did against the Falcons. Because that's what the Falcons do. They give you the L, and they give it to you so much that they don't give you nothing. And then we came back, man, and dude, it just feels so good.
Dan Quinn's going to get fired.
Oh, dude, he's already fired.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Dan Quinn is going to get fired, and he's going to become the defensive coordinator of the Seahawks again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
And welcome to the Seahawks podcast. I'm your host, Julian Mazar.
Wow. I'd love it, dude. I'm a Seahawks fan for sure. I got family up there. But, I mean, that's. Wrap it up with that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On to the Colts.
Yes, sir. Indianapolis Colts.
Just won in dramatic fashion.
Yeah.
36-7 over the Jets, who are
their defense destroyed last game.
Yeah. Huh?
Their defense destroyed.
Yeah. But the Jets are also like a middle school team, so
yeah. I went 10-0 as a middle school team in 8th grade. I think we could have put up some points against the Jets.
Yeah. So that was the Chicago Bears' dramatic win,
You were on that team. What am I talking
30
about?
to 26
He was
over
on
the
that
Atlanta
team.
Falcons. 3-0.
We weren't friends then, though.
On to, like
You
I
were
said,
nose tackle back in the day, baby.
hey man, Coach Stitt said I had the most talent he ever seen.
Did he say that?
He said I was.
Something like that?
Yeah, well, he said. I'll save it for after the pod. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in.
Hell yeah.
On to week 4 for both teams.
Let's go.
The real stretch of football where it really matters
Begins.
right now. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Were you about to say something?
4-0, baby.
Stay safe out there.